The first concept that we will see for resource protection is users. What is a user? A user is something, but not somebody, something, because we can have users that are people or users that are other machines or other systems. So a user is something that can be authenticated and can be authorized in our system. This is common for all operating systems. This is the common concept of a user. But where do we have users in Linux system? Well, users are stored in a file. The file is etc password. We have here all the users of our operating system. This is an operating system installed from scratch, an Ubuntu made installed from scratch, and you can see that we have here a lot of different users. We will see in a moment why. This must maybe it seems a very complex file, but it's a text file with some fields separated by color. So it's not as complex as it seems. I will open this in a preset so you can take a look at it more clearly. Okay, so this is the same file. Those are the fields. Those are the different fields. We will have a semicolon, a colon here in separating the different fields, and we can. This is the same information that we had on the file. And here we can see the first differentiation that we have in the users in Linux. We have a user that is called the root user, the super user. It has it's identified as with an ID 0. We will see this in a moment, and it can do anything in our system. It's allowed to do anything, and we have the rest of the users here. So this is the first differentiation that we can do between users in a Linux system: the root user and the rest of the users. And here, this is the different fields of the password file, and the first one is the username. Okay, this is the username. So in this register here, in this line, this is the root user, and we have other user. This is called, for example, the backup user, and here at the end, towards the end, we will have this user. This is the one that I'm using now for working with the system. Okay, the username here. This is the first field of the password file. The second, this field is the password. And the password is not really here. You can see we have an X in all the user. That doesn't mean that the password is an X. We have it in another place. We will see that in other video. This field is the ID of the user ID. Each user is identified by a number. Root is usually user number 0. This is the super user. And then we can have different numbers for different users. We must have different numbers for different users because we had the same number, it will behave as the same user. This is the group ID, the main group ID. We will see this in another video. And here we have some text information about the user. This is only text. We can have different, for example, the description of the user, whatever. This is not used for resource protection. It's only some additional information in case we need to store something, so a comment about a user or something. And then we have two important fields. The first one is the home directory. This is when you log in with a user, it will go to this directory, and here is where you have all your personal files. For example, for a human user, you will have your files here. For other kinds of users, we will have the files that we need to run in this directory. Okay, this is the home directory, and this is the cell. The cell, remember that when we are running something in the console, for example, if I open a console here, this one. I have this one open, for example. This here, this program in which I'm running the commands and seeing the information. This is called the cell, and we have different cells. And here, the cell of each user, for each user is defined here in the password file. For example, root has bus cell, and we have other fields, no login, false, and everything. So those are the fields of the password file.